Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name's Johnny and today I'm going to be going over 3 of my favorite compressors to use on drum bus so you can figure out which one is right for you. So let's get to it. Alright, these are the drums that we're working with. First, let's get things started with our complex compressor. I'm going to push the input a little bit, raise the ratio, and then make this comp attack time faster at 0.25 milliseconds. And let's hear how that sounds with a fast release. Way too much. Let's go ahead and engage this sidechain filter up to, let's say, 35. All right, let's compare before and after. This compressor really slammed into those rooms on the kick and snare drum, which I really like. Let's move on to ADC1 next and dial this in. All right, so I just drove the input some. I liked comp 2 a little bit more on the kick drum than I did comp 1, and then I engaged the sidechain high pass filter to 40. I compensated the volume a little bit with the output, and I did an attack and kind of a medium release. Not exactly medium, but not the fastest either. And let's compare before and after. This style of compression is very colored, very aggressive, and I love it. Different flavor than the complex, and now let's move on to the MK609 and dial that in. All right, I've used this thing a lot, and I already know what I like on drums. I'm going to go with a 4-to-1 ratio on stock attack, and I'm going to dial in this threshold until we're peaking around -4 dB, and then I'm going to bring in the gain a little bit. Let's compare before and after. Much like the complex, this one really brings those rooms up front, and it really evens out the overheads and my shells, and I love the sound of this. Let's go ahead and compare all three back to back. Now, as a little bonus, I'm going to use these three compressors across the whole entire drum mix and see what we can come up with. All right, first I'm going to leave the MK609 on my drum bus because I'm so familiar with it, owning the hardware. Next, I'm going to go over to my shell bus and I'm going to add the ADC1, and that's going to sound something like this. Now, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to dial this in parallel using this mix knob with the rest of the drum mix. I feel like the snare is kind of taking over a little bit. Let's turn that down. And now let's move on to what I love using the complex on, which is the room. Let's dial this in. We actually have a preset on this that I really love. Under factory presets, drums, drum room smash. This preset is awesome. Now, I don't usually use presets that much, and that's not something I always recommend, but since it is our compressor and I'm super familiar with this, I just love this preset. It's one of my go-tos. Let's listen to that before and after. And of course, you can come up here and change the input, the output, your thresholds, your release, all that sort of stuff. But I'm actually just going to leave that as is. Let's listen to the whole entire drum bus as a whole now. If I were doing a full drum mix, I would go in and tame those toms a little bit, tame some of the stuff I'm hearing in the overheads and some of the bleed I'm hearing in the room. But just for showing off these compressors, I want to show raw, unmixed audio so you guys can make a decision on which one you like the best. That's it for this week's video. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments below what your favorite drum bus compressor has been. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.